Welcome. In this video, we walk through the flight timeline, how to read the page where everything lives, and what each piece does. About 7 minutes end to end. Let's dive right in. This is the flight timeline, the page you land on every time you open a flight in Airplane Manager. Up top, you have the bones of the flight, trip number on the left, clickable, editable in place, title next to it, same idea. Over on the right, flight status, account and contact, and the print view toggle. These colored pills are flight tags. They apply to the whole trip, and they're great for filtering on a dashboard or reports. There are also leg tags, which we'll see in a minute. And this, print view, is the version you give to a passenger or send to a vendor. It's the same information, condensed and copy-paste friendly. Every leg on the timeline has the same shape, a departure node at the top. That's this spot with the time next to it, flight details in the middle, and an arrival node at the bottom. Each node shows you 4 things at a glance: the local time, the time zone abbreviation, the UTC time underneath, and the time zone difference from the previous stop. Once you're used to it, you can read a multi-leg trip across time zones without doing the math. If a leg is delayed, you'll see an orange delay badge here, with the original time crossed out. And if the flight is en route, these blocks with the airplane icon will rotate and light up. That's your "Where is the plane right now" indicator. After the arrival, you might also see a destination card. That's the ground destination after you land. Hotel, meeting venue, wherever the passengers are actually going. And right here, in the middle of the segment, see this gas pump icon? If you need to stop for fuel somewhere along the way, this is how you add it. Click and you get 2 ways to pick an airport. Input the airport lets you search directly by ICAO or city name. Use a map. Pulls up an interactive map with every airport in your aircraft's range, filtered by runway length with tier pricing layered on. Pick the one you want, save, and a new fuel stop leg gets inserted into the timeline between your original 2 legs. Around the nodes, you'll see a stack of cards. These contain the status of everything attached to the leg. Handling package, that's your trip support request. Evo, flight compass, anything you've sent out. Flight plan, whether it's filed and which system it came from. EAPIS, the customs filing for an international leg, with your confirmation code right there. Crew and passenger notes, with a quick "how many are done" indicator. And reservations, hotels, cars, catering. They slot in automatically based on the time of the booking. Each one of these has its own video in this series. We'll go deeper on each. For now, just know, if it's relevant to the leg, it shows up here. This little plus button, there's one before and after every leg, is how you add anything to a flight. Click it, and you get a categorized menu, notes and reservations on top, planning items, briefing, staffing, weather. And on international legs, you'll see a customs and EAPIS section appear here too. At the bottom, the structural stuff. Add a leg before, add a leg after, add a destination. The menu is context-aware. It shows you only what makes sense for that spot on the timeline. I'll close it for now. Clicking on any section of the timeline opens the side panel. This is where the detailed editing lives. There are about 20 tabs in here: airport, FBO, flight info, crew, passengers, weather, briefing, checklists, the whole works. You won't use all of them on every flight, but they're all one click away. We'll start on airport. This is the page for everything specific to one stop. Up top, the departure date and time, with the time zone abbreviation and the UTC conversion right there. Edit it in place. Below it, the airport selector. Start typing an ICAO or a city, and it suggests matches as you go. Once an airport is set, you'll see the runway length, the field elevation, and whether CBP is available there. Quick reference info, no clicks needed. Below that, flight department notes. These get printed on the crew trip sheet. Plus, a few toggles for whether to mark this airport as a favorite, surface warnings, and flag frequency notes. Anything you change here will need you to click the Save button that appears. And if you ever need to look at what else is nearby, alternatives, diverts, or just exploring, this search button opens a regional search with every other airport in the area. See this Report Delay button up at the top of the panel? When a leg is running late, this is how you log it. Next panel we'll look at FBO. If you've already picked one, you'll see everything at a glance: name, address, phone, fuel pricing tiers, any notes you've made about this FBO. The more interesting view shows up when you're picking one fresh. This is the comparison table. Every FBO at this airport side by side with the provider name, the best price for the fuel tier you're shopping in, and on arrivals, the drive time to your destination. The tier dropdown up here is the trick. Switch it between, say, 500 gallons and 1,000 gallons, and the best price column resorts, so you're comparing apples to apples for the uplift you actually need. Preferred FBOs tagged in this list offer discounted rates to airplane manager customers. These and any favorites you mark float to the top of this list. Pick one, hit select, and you're back on the leg with that FBO attached. Flight info is the next stop. This is where you tell the system how long the flight is going to take. You get a stack of options, each with its own calculated time. No Winds shows the still air estimate. Forecasted times are pulled from 1800WX brief. Seasonal shows historical averages. If your shop is connected to ForeFlight, flightplan.com, or APG, those numbers show up here too. Click the one you want and it sticks. The timeline flight time badge updates to match. Below the options, there's also a history view. Actual flight times from similar trips you've flown before, so you can sanity check what the wind model is telling you. One last row to mention. The top of each leg has its own actions, leg tags for filtering and labeling. Also, leg chat. That's the comment thread for this specific leg, with unread counts and mentions, and the leg checklist when one is set up. These travel with the leg, so the conversation about the Friday departure stays separate from the conversation about the Sunday return. That's the timeline. The other videos in this series will build on what you've just learned. We'll see you in the next one.